Hello all of you. Today I am going to describe you identification and explanation of embryological model of tongue. As we all know that tongue is developed in the floor of the pharynx in relation with the pharyngeal arches. Pharyngeal arches, as we have seen that these pharyngeal arches are the mesodermal thickenings in the lateral wall of the foregut. Okay. Now, these are the pharyngeal arches. Here in the model, you can see this is first pharyngeal arch, this is second, this is third. Okay. So, the medial most part, the medial most part of the mandibular arches proliferate, okay, to form two lingual swellings. Okay. This yellow part is lingual swellings. Okay. There are two lingual swellings. One lingual swelling is this, another lingual swelling is this. Okay. So the yellow part is the two lingual swellings. Okay. That developed in relation to the first arch. Okay. And these two lingual swellings, they are partially separated by another midline or median swelling that is called as tuberculum impar. That is called as tuberculum impar. And the epithelium proliferates to form a downgrowth that is called as thyroglossal duct. And from this thyroglossal duct, thyroid gland developed. Okay. At the site of this downgrowth, there is a depression, this black portion, okay, that is called as foramen cecum. Okay. So in this model you can see there are two lingual swellings. Okay, these two lingual swellings, they developed from the medial most part of the mandibular arch. Okay, this is the first arch. Okay, and they are partially separated by another midline swelling that is called as tuberculum impar, and the epithelium proliferates as downgrowth from this tuberculum impar that is called as thyroglossal duct. This is thyroglossal duct by which thyroid gland develops. At the site of the downgrowth there is a depression, this black part, this is called as foramen cecum. Okay, I think up to this point everything is clear. These two yellow round swellings, these are the lingual swellings, and the another midline swelling in between these two lingual swelling is called as tuberculum impar, and this black dot is foramen cecum. Okay, these all two lingual swellings and tuberculum impar, they developed in relation to the first arch. Now another midline swelling developed in relation to the second, third and fourth arch. Okay, and this another midline swelling, it is called as hypobranchial eminence. Okay, and this hypobranchial eminence, it is soon divided into two parts. Okay, one is the cranial part, this red portion, and one is the caudal part, this is blue portion. Okay, so this cranial part of the hypobranchial eminence, okay, it is related to the second and third arch, and that is called as copula. So this red portion, it is called as copula. Okay, and this caudal portion, it is related to the fourth arch. This is the fourth arch. Okay, so now I think that you can clearly understand what is this yellow portion. These are the two lingual swellings. Okay, and in the midline another this yellow swelling that is called as tuberculum impar, These are all related with the first arch. Okay, these two lingual swelling fuse in the midline, okay, to form the anterior two-third of the tongue. Okay, and this hypobranchial eminence, it has two parts: cranial part, that is called as copula of his, this is red part, and caudal part, that is the posterior epithelium of the tongue. So this yellow portion, that is the anterior two-third of the tongue. Okay, so the epithelium of the anterior two-third of the tongue, it is developed by the proliferation of the endoderm of the first pharyngeal arch, that is the two lingual swellings and tuberculum. Then epithelium of the posterior one-third of the tongue, it is developed from the cranial part of the hypobranchial eminence, that is called copula of his, by the proliferation of the second and third arch. Okay, posterior most part of the tongue, that is developed from the caudal part of the hypobranchial eminence. So here we are talking about the epithelium of the anterior two-third of the tongue, okay, and the epithelium of the posterior one-third of the tongue, and this epithelium of the posterior most part of the tongue. Okay, these all are developed by the lingual swellings and the hypobranchial eminence. Okay, now coming to the muscles. So the muscle of the tongue, it is developed by the occipital myotome. Okay, musculature of the tongue, it is derived from the occipital myotomes, and that's why the nerve supply of the tongue is by the hypoglossal nerve, which is the nerve of these myotomes. Okay, now the connective tissue of the tongue, it is developed from the mesoderm of the related arch. Okay, now you should know the nerve supply of the tongue as per the development. So this anterior two-third of the tongue, okay, it is developed from the first arch. So the sensory innervation, okay, sensory innervation of the anterior two-third of the tongue is by the lingual nerve, that is the branch of the posterior division of the mandibular nerve, and the mandibular nerve, it is the nerve of the first arch. Okay, and the taste sensation carried by the chorda tympani nerve, that is the branch of the facial nerve. And here you should know that only all taste buds except circumvallate papillae. Okay, so taste sensation from the all taste buds except circumvallate papillae, they are carried by the chorda tympani nerve, that is the branch of the facial nerve. Okay, now the posterior one-third of the tongue. So posterior one-third of the tongue, both general sensations as well as taste sensations, it is carried by the ninth nerve, that is the glossopharyngeal nerve, and this blue portion, that is the posterior most part of the tongue. Okay, so the general sensation, it is carried by the superior laryngeal nerve, that is the branch of the internal laryngeal nerve. Okay, and taste sensations also carried by the superior laryngeal nerve, that is the branch of the internal laryngeal nerve. So these are the innervation of the tongue related to the development of the tongue. Okay, then applied anatomy related to the embryology of this model. So if this anterior two-third of the tongue, okay, the two lingual swellings, they do not fuse with each other, in that condition there will be bifid tongue. Okay, the tongue that is not fused in the midline, so there is bifid tongue. Okay, then another condition, that is called as ankyloglossia or tongue tie. In this condition, frenulum of the tongue is short. Okay, so inferior surface of the tongue is fixed, and the floor of the mouth is fixed to the tongue. Okay, so speech is disturbed. So these are the some embryological applied aspect of the tongue. Thank you.